Hey, what's up, Rattler? So we finally made it to Sydney. We're about maybe, I don't know, an hour or two outside of Sydney in the Blue Mountains. And I'm with a great group of herpers out here from Australia. Kenan Harkin is with me, Brian Kusko is with me. And today we are going to have an awesome day in the field seeing what we can find. There are a lot of cool venomous snakes out here. And Rob Ambrose, who you guys may remember from a video I shot here last year, took me out to this spot and we found just some of the most amazing venomous snakes around the Sydney area. So whether or not we find a ton of animals or not, today is going to be an awesome day. I'm Dāv Kaufman and I am obsessed with reptiles. So come with me and join my reptile adventures.
At Rainbow Mealworms, we grow all our insects 100% naturally so that you get the freshest, most lively feeders on the market. So for all your reptile food needs, place your order today at rainbowmealworms.net.
All right, so in the field with us today is the original Aussie wild man, Rob Ambrose, and then Kane, who just got a phone call over there, and Rachel and Kim, and Kenan from Kamp Kenan is here, Troy, and Brian Kusko with a little friend there.
Apparently this is just like a coral snake.
You got a little bandy there.
Chocolate from the cappuccino.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I wish someone had mentioned that before.
I wanted to say something before, but it looked like you poop on your nose. I thought maybe you guys were eating a walnut.
So nobody knows how venomous these are?
No.
Yeah, okay.
They're pretty venomous, but yeah.
You know, in all honesty, there was investigations into bandy venom.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they injected bandy venom into a rabbit and it killed it.
Gruesome, isn't it?
Wow.
Wow.
Wow. Okay.
But look at him.
You're doing a great job, Brian.
Yeah. Tuck in that thumb. Very cool. All right, so Troy just presented this, and this is a snake that was a rescue, correct?
Yeah, it was. I was called out for it one night recently, and I've just got to release it. So it was in someone's backyard, and it was an older couple, and they had their grandkids around, and they were freaking out about it. They didn't know what it was, and so I just I came around there and moved it for him, and yeah.
So this is Rob. You may remember him from a video that I shot here last year. That was just one of the most awesome videos I have ever shot with you. So what are we going to be finding out here?
Snakes. That's it. Snakes. That's all I have to say.
And this is where I have
A man of few words.
This is where I have the cricket sound effects. There you go.
Oh my God.
There you go.
Oh my God.
Bastard.
Don't worry, I got a table.
Punish that. That'll do, Brian. That'll do. I don't know how Kenan got up there, but there he is.
He's a mountain goat.
There's a lot of cool. Oh my gosh! I didn't even look. Let's go up to that one.
You want to climb more?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Is that
Yeah. Let's climb more. Yeah.
Let's go.
Look at this cave we found, Troy. This is a mighty fine cave.
It's bloody awesome.
Yeah, wow, all right, I'm going in. Look at primitive campfires from a previous culture. No doubt at least maybe 90, 120 days ago. Fascinating, look at this cave. Goes all the way here. Oh, so awesome.
Now there's a story about this.
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm just lying.
Oh, there's no story?
I just wanted to make up a story.
Feel free to make one up. I will edit it out of the video.
100% of my ancestors successfully reproduced.
That is...
My mother had children, and so did my mother's mother. They had children successfully, and actually going back hundreds of generations, they had children, all of them. There you go.
That is
famous for
my mind is blown.
Mind blown.
All right, Rattlers, so we just got to what is now one of my favorite places in this area. This is a place that Kim and Rob took me to last year when we found all the tiger snakes and the copperheads and the eastern brown snake here last year. And You know, one of my favorite elapids in this area is the copperhead, the Australian copperhead. Gotta watch where I'm walking so I don't face plant here, but we're gonna walk along this river and hopefully we're gonna see some tiger snakes and some copperheads and anything else that we can see along this river. So Rob over here has got a snake. Let's go see what he's got here.
What species you got there, bud?
You're gonna have a look at it.
Oh
Yeah.
man, I'm not up on my.
Oh, beautiful copperhead.
Oh my God, that's an Australian copperhead.
Look at that chunky monkey.
Very cool.
I think you'll become a fan of these really quickly.
They-
I know you probably already were, but
I've never seen one. Never ever, man. So this guy flattens out, similar to a lot of the other elapids here, huh?
they do. But these have a sort of a defensive display that's a lot less potent. But you can never I mean, they do have a little movement that they do at the end there sometimes where they'll sort of go lunge at you, like a little half-assed lunge. But mostly they're like this, they just sort of look at you and they're sort of accepting.
That's amazing.
Where was he? Was he out in the open or under
Yeah,
something?
this is an active one. He was down in the long grass, down lower. So I had to jump down.
Down
there.
lower by the river?
And he was watching us, yeah. He was watching us the whole way.
So what's so funny about this is it's called a copperhead, and in the United States we've got a pit viper called a copperhead, and you know, that's probably causes some confusion when North Americans show up here. But Dave was telling me something about they had another name for this snake at one time, Rob.
The superb snake.
The superb snake.
Much better name, because have you noticed something about a copperhead? What's
that?
very distinctive about a copperhead?
What's distinctive? I think that banding underneath them is pretty
No,
distinctive.
what's even more distinctive than a copperhead? Think about the name.
The copperhead.
The
They don't
head?
have a copperhead!
Yeah, that's true.
Brian wins the prize.
Ah, there you go. Well, you know what's funny, man, is that these guys, similar to other elapids I've encountered, I mean, they're much more alert snakes. You know,
Yeah,
in
but
my opinion, they're just they track you, they watch. See this, you know, as I move the camera, he's really keeping an eye on it. But of course, guys, the thing that you want to notice, you know, and I'm talking to the people out there watching, the snake is yet to take a swipe at the camera, and I'm only about, I'd say, 8 or 9 inches from him. And again, you know, if you just leave these animals alone,
Which we're not.
which we are, you know, they really don't want to mess with people. I got nervous, man. Oh,
So
man,
Rob just took
I
a slide
ruined it.
down here, caught two snakes.
Sorry, bud.
One of
That's
them
all
was a
right, that one's
copperhead.
That one's
He's
floppy.
down here.
The other one was, there was a mutt. They're just here, don't worry.
Yeah, yeah, he's not going
Oh,
anywhere.
I'm sorry, mate. I got a little nervous.
I'd rather that than you get hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd rather nervousness than bite. I think he's got a burrow here, but there was two on top of each other.
Two tiger snakes.
Were they tiger snakes or
Both
copperheads?
copperheads.
Oh,
Yeah, they
both
were copperheads.
But as I grabbed one,
I
I'm
can't
like,
believe
there's
he did
another one.
that. Yeah, but he's.
There's two.
I wish I filmed it, guys. You have no idea. He just
Yeah.
literally jumped, grabbed
top
one
of
snake,
both.
and the other snake was right next to him.
Yeah,
Oh, what?
Yeah, okay, I've got him.
You got him?
Oh my God!
Oh, there he is.
Look at you. You are unbelievable, mate. This guy is the real deal.
Hang on, and there's the other one too.
Where? All right. Should I try this again?
Wait, is that the other one or is
Where?
that the same snake? Right over there.
There-
No,
no,
no. It's a good one. So we've got rid of the bad one,
Oh, we got
and we got the pretty one.
Well, are you sure?
Oh, you got him by the. I see what's happening.
Okay. So
Well,
guys,
this-
look at this. Let me show you where we're at right now. We got another copperhead, and there it is. Oh, you are something, man.
Beauty.
Woo!
This one's much better than the
The one I was
sloppy.
grabbing. Well, that's what I figured, so that's why I let it go.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
I was like, nah, it's sloughing. I don't think you guys want to see this one. So I let it go. I let him go.
Copperheads are like, but honestly, they're one of the easiest ones. But then again, they can be tricky in ways that I think people would underestimate.
Yeah, like I said, I'm glad I let that one go.
Yeah. That was...
I didn't want to bore you guys with like a subpar copperhead,
And we didn't want to have to carry you out of here.
Yeah, I think that's the key, yeah?
This is one of my favorite elapids here in Australia. This is a copperhead, but they don't really have copper heads. And they get their name because long ago, pennies were made out of coppers. Somebody saw the head and said, wow, that looks like the copper of a penny. Well, let's name it copperhead. But the superb snake is another name for it, and God, I really wish that name would have stuck because copperhead just doesn't do this snake justice. And this one's a real dark one, but usually they're black and they have kind of like a red and orange and yellow kind of stripes along the lateral line that just makes it pop against that black. All right, I'm gonna film Kenan
he's going to
doing
double
this.
fist
We're
it.
gonna double fist it.
It's actually nice colour. You see how it's twisted over like that?
Yeah.
Don't let it untwist itself. Yeah.
And so he's even flattened himself out.
There we go.
And if you let the snake on the ground, if I lift him right off the ground, he's going to feel more insecure.
Yeah.
But if I give him a little bit on the ground, he feels a little better. Just so you guys know, the Australians kind of went off ahead, and us Americans we were flipping absolutely everything we could. And it shows you in a way, like, I think maybe you guys they have such an understanding of where the animals are going to be found. But this is really cool to have hands on this animal.
All right, Kenan's gonna do the release here.
This is awesome. First release of a venomous copperhead here in Australia. So let's go put him back where we found him. Right over here, wasn't it?
Yeah, that'll do. Anywhere there.
All right. See you, little guy. Oh, man.
Perfectly
Come
executed
on.
release.
This is Australia.
Nice. All right, Rattler, so now we are at this place, I don't know where, somewhere in Sydney, but you can tell by this place that Kane is a person who, well, I'm just going to let him explain it because he's going to do it much better than I will. All right, so Kane, kind of walk us through what's happening here. So you've rescued the snake.
Yeah, so we've got a red-bellied black snake here that was actually rescued from a lady's house under her bed late at night. So just last night we took a call from a concerned resident. She was actually beside herself.
It was in her house under her bed?
Yeah,
Wow.
in her house under her bed, yeah. So it was after a really hot day. So when it gets hot here in Sydney, sometimes snakes will go inside just to find somewhere cool to hang out for the afternoon or night. And yeah, so it's only a tiny little red-bellied black snake, but she found it in her bedroom as she went into the bedroom to go to sleep in the night. It was about 11 o'clock at night, and she called us at Wild, and we went out. And
so
got
Wild
it.
Snake Catchers is the name of your company.
Yeah, that's right.
And
yeah.
so people call with nuisance snakes, you go get them,
Yep.
and then you find a good place to relocate
that's
them, and
right,
that's
yeah.
what we're doing here now.
Yep, we sure are. Yeah.
Great.
So we're going to let this snake go.
All right, this looks like a great place for him.
Yeah.
Let's just let him go.
Yeah, matey.
There you go.
Good luck. Stay out of the house.
Sweet. All right, and so then you have this really cool Australian water dragon.
Yep. So this is a beautiful adult male eastern water dragon. I mean, he's quite a big one as well. Quite an impressive animal. They do have powerful legs for swimming and running, so they can deliver quite a powerful scratch with those long claws. I mean, anyone who handles these lizards will often have scars on their forearms from them. I mean, obviously, they're nothing like an iguana or a monitor lizard, but they are one of our larger lizards, especially in Sydney. Now, this animal actually came from a bit of a sad situation. He was wild caught by someone who had been renting a nearby apartment. And we were contacted to go in there because he had actually moved out and left these animals in the apartment.
Oh boy.
So we were contacted to just go in there and remove these animals. And after talking to the resident afterwards, he did say that it had been captured nearby. So we're just going to let it go back into this creek here so it can go about its business and hopefully live a fun and fruitful life.
Fantastic. He's actually gorgeous.
Yep.
And Kenan goes off to recatch him.
Now he's scared of people. You got to make sure that.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. All right, Rattler, so it was an absolutely amazing day out in the field with Brian and Kenan and everybody else. These are such amazing people. And again, you know, it doesn't matter really what you find when you're out there with a great group of people. What matters is the people that you're out there with, and that's what makes it an awesome day. So it's really awesome to have people in the world like Rob and Troy and Kane who provide this service so that these animals, you know, have a second chance at life when they encounter a human that doesn't love them as much as we do. So anyway, from here we are going to head north to Brisbane, and there's going to be a lot more adventures coming up. So until then, love the planet, feed your reptile obsession, and rattle on.